वो दिन कितने प्यारे थे, ये दिन भी कितने प्यारे हैं। तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे, तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे। बाबा अब भी साथ हमारे हैं।
चाइना अब प्रैक्टिकल में अंतर हो जाता है। सोचते तो बहुत हो, लेकिन स्मृति में कम रखते हैं। और बनना क्या है? सोचना स्वरूप या स्मृति स्वरूप? स्मृति स्वरूप बनने वाले होना। एक बात भी स्मृति में रखो कि अमृत मिले आपको उठाने वाला कौन? आपका प्यार उठाता है। दिन का आरंभ कितना श्रेष्ठ है। और पाप स्वयं मिलन मनाने के लिए बुलाते हैं, मिलाते हैं, रोहनियान करते हैं, शक्तियां बढ़ते हैं। तो हर दिन का आज कितना श्रेष्ठ है। आपके मोहब्बत से उठते हो कि कभी कभी मजबूरी से भी उठते हो। यथार्थ तो मोहब्बत के गीत आपको उठाते हैं। अमृत वेले से आप मीठे बच्चे, प्यारे बच्चे आओ। कितना स्नेह से बुलाते, उठाते। तो जिसका हाथ इतना श्रेष्ठ है, तो मध्य और अंत क्या होगा? श्रेष्ठ होगा ना। बच्चे, मैं आपके सदा साथ हूँ।
Om Shanti. Transformation of old sanskars and old nature. Catch your original and eternal, pure sanskars. Just as some people are able to catch the sound of a long time ago, so too you should catch your divine sanskars of 5,000 years ago. Always be aware of what you were and that you are becoming that again. The more you are able to catch your original and eternal, pure sanskars, the more you will become a form of them. Now transform the old nature and old sanskars. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vyakti Parivar. Today's day 13. Transformation of old sanskars and old nature. Today's topic is catch your original and eternal pure sanskars. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi and then we will listen to Brother Cam.
Om Shanti, everyone. Om Shanti. Very beautiful and Shantivan. Things start here early morning at 2:30. They start making tea for Baba's children. Yesterday I met a group from Baba's kitchen here. So one who has duty of tea, he said that's how he begins his day. So how much Baba takes care of children. They have 10,000 Baba's children from Karnataka. And as you all know, there are already at least 5,000 those who live here, and they have this colony, they call it BK colony. So they all also come for the programs, for classes. Baba's, whatever Baba says, we understand, but it really takes time. First we understand, we practice, then clear understanding comes. Like today, Baba is talking about difference in thinking and awareness. So is our awareness based on thinking, or thinking comes from awareness? And Baba says, you all think a lot. I will do this, I will practice this, I will do 10 times a day. But not necessarily you are able to stay in that awareness. So how do we change thinking into awareness? So Baba used the word sochita. Sochita is thinking, image of thinking. Most of the people always think, they keep thinking. But Baba is talking of awareness. So what we will do in our homework, we will look at ourselves. Before, when we used to write chart, we used to think, what should I write? But now we have every day, we can write different things in the chart. So you can write in the chart, you keep thinking, right? It should be like that, I will do like that, but not necessarily. You are able to be in that awareness, in the similitude. So just check and change thinking into awareness. I don't need to think too much. I just need to be in awareness. And you can connect it with what Baba said, that you should catch the sanskars, which were original sanskar, eternal sanskar. Now, how we do that, right? There are two ways. One is creating now awareness, reminding myself about my pure being. I am a pure being, I am pure soul. And stay in that awareness as long as you can. Actually, purity is the quality. All the qualities emerge from purity. Like Baba. Baba, one is ever pure. Baba is ocean of purity. And because of that, Baba is ocean of love. When there is purity, there is natural feelings of love. It is impurity of different kinds reduces our love or doesn't allow love to be in emerge form. You all must have noticed that when there is really total purity, you have so much love for everyone. And it is through purity that you experience peace. Because there is nothing to disturb, nothing to get upset. You internally just remain peaceful. It is the purity which is power. So it is through the purity that there is joy, happiness. So purity really is the main virtue, and from which all other virtues emerge. Purity is also the main power, from which all the powers emerge. So when I will keep becoming aware of my purity, especially as we all were in that stage 5,000 years ago. So that feelings, that experience should begin, that I want to be in that stage of total purity. There's purity, but total purity. So what actually the practice is, I emerge my original stage of purity. For that we understand that when I am in the incorporeal world, soul world, there is total purity. So you all must be reflecting on purity. Purity, in other words, also is unadulterated. That means there is nothing, no traces of vices or of past or about anyone, unadulterated. Because whenever there is some mixed, adulterated, so that is what also we call as rajogun. Tamo is when it is lot of mixed, lot of pollution. But Raju is where it's mixed. And then it's Sato. And then further than that, higher than that is called Sato Pradhan. So we compare our purity of golden age as Sato Pradhan. Now you can work through Simriti. Different practices can make us pure. It is only through remembrance that I can become Satopradhan. So purity, unadulterated intellect and mind will help me to be in Baba's remembrance, pure remembrance. It's very, very clear connection of I the soul, Shiv Baba. He is also Supreme Soul. So that remembrance, there are two things. One is you will be able to be in remembrance only when there is pure intellect, right? When mind is very pure and light, that you are able to be in Baba's remembrance. And it is through remembrance then whatever is in deep, deep in subconscious mind or merged sanskars, it is through remembrance that they are removed. You become free from that. Because it's connection of purity and remembrance, and then remembrance increases my purity. That is why it's very, very important. It says catch those sanskars, but it is more like emerging. And why the word catches you? Because internally you do feel that. But when you feel it, you have to sustain it. It's like you feel very, very pure and light, and but how long for? You have to sustain that stage. Oh, I have to be this, and stay in that as long as you can. And gradually it will become like more hours then. It could become 24 hours. I mean, that's what it has to be. So we have to become, because we were, I was, and I have to become. That will also help us very much. So then you will always be peaceful, always be loveful, always be happy. Always will come only when there is purity. When you are moving towards Sato stage and Sato Pradhan stage, there will be naturally love for everyone. You're always peaceful, joyful, powerful, blissful. So it will be interesting day to look into that, and then keep chart that are you only thinking about what you have to be? Are you in awareness? And when you are in awareness, are you feeling that's what you were? And feel very, very naturally pure, peaceful, and have all the virtues in a very natural way. So actually every virtue will emerge if there is purity. And purifier is Baba. Through purifier Baba, I will become ever pure. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
transformation of old sanskars and old nature. Catch your original and eternal pure sanskars. Just as some people are able to catch the sound of a long time ago, so too you should catch your divine sanskars of 5,000 years ago. Always be aware of what you were and that you are becoming that again. The more you are able to catch your original and eternal pure sanskars, the more you will become a form of them. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Vakti Parivar. So before we start our session with Brother Ken, I would like to go through Double Foreigners program. It's season 3. So we'll be sending out the schedule you in email today. And this is the third Baba's turn, and be starting 13th of November. So it's today actually. And it's Nirmala Didi's interview. Then tomorrow 15 is Mohini Didi. So 16 is Sudesh Didi. So there's and 17th is Baptada's Milan. 18th is Janti Didi's revision of Murli, then 19 and 20. So every day there is different classes by different seniors. So we will send this program in our Avyakti Parivar email address with today's email. And also, as you all know, the timings are different in India for their classes. So, but still we will do their live or recording every day at 7:30 Eastern Time. So anybody who is interested would like to join, you're welcome to join Avyakti Parivar, and we will give translation as many as possible. So that's main is the Performance Online program. And tomorrow is Monday, so we'll follow our schedule from morning Amritwela till night. So now let's welcome our dear angel brother Ken. Welcome to Avyakti Journey, living and serving with our Brahmin family. Welcome, dear angel brother Ken.
Now the microphone is open. Yeah, Om Shanti, Sister Bhumi, Om Shanti, Didi, Om Shanti, everyone. It's been so wonderful for me to be being able to connect up with you, even though it's 10 p.m. here where I am. And it's like all of you, so happy to get news from Shantivan. When Didi was describing, sharing the news there, I felt that I was there. I sort of seeing all of these crowds, people coming there to get their sustenance. So soon we'll be going also, in February at least. I'm still in our retreat center here in Argentina, and today was the inauguration for the public. And tomorrow I'm off to Mexico for some other programs there. But I loved, here in the nature, it's so quiet, especially down with Bell. And I loved how Baba was mentioning in that extract from the Mori about him waking us up with his love and having a heart-to-heart conversation with us. And we must remember that that's probably the number one experience I need to have if I want to change my sanskars, if I want to change the order of the sanskars. Because we've got all of the sanskars. We've got the Sattva, Raja, Tamo sanskars all at the same time. And we have to, with Baba's help, access the original and eternal ones. The original ones from the beginning of the Golden Age, the eternal ones, they're my qualities that are there. Eternal means forever. So I have these qualities forever. The problem is that they're not accessible, especially if my consciousness is somewhere else, my awareness is something else. And so I was interesting today. I talked to many BKs because we're in the middle of a retreat here. And I was remembering how, well, Didi said also we think too much, but I remember a meeting in the history hall with Bapdada in the late 70s after the Muli. If there were any foreigners around, he would always meet us or as a group. I remember once he gave his long drishti and he said, "You people think too much." And it's true. Just talking to people today, I can see how it's so easy to get caught up in our own sanskars and then caught up in other people's sanskars. So this sequence of programs is about living and working, serving with other BKs. One thing we have to avoid is thinking too much, and one thing we have to avoid is getting caught up in other people's sanskars, because what happens is I have this group of sanskars in me, and the other person has similar sorts of sanskars, and they get hooked together. And of course, that creates some sort of, as Baba said, some sort of a clash. It's a clash between my impure sanskars and the impure sanskars of someone else. And so this whole story of the battle between purity and impurity that Didi was talking about, as purity is the mother of peace and happiness, it's impossible. If I don't really cultivate these sanskars of purity, I won't be able to get along with others. I remember Daddy Guzar even saying to us, if you really want to be pure, you have to understand how impure you have become. There has to be some sort of a contrast. I have to want to become pure. Therefore, I have to understand that it's not a great thing to be impure. I mean, in Golden Age, in the Iron Age, we have become quite used to being surrounded by impure sanskars in other people, in the world around us, even in ourselves sometimes. And so I have to really desire, Daddy Guzar was saying, I have to really desire to become pure. I really have to desire to get out of the descending stage and get into the ascending stage, as Baba says. So with that in mind, I have to, I guess, as I said before, the number one tool for us to sort out our sanskars is interacting with Baba. I have to be very honest. I have to be very clear. And in meditation, once I was conducting a retreat a workshop in Madhuban with married brothers. There's a time when they had retreats for bhattis, for single sisters, for married sisters, mothers. They had retreats for married men. They had retreats for single men, like Kumars and so on, all sorts of retreats. So there was one group of fathers, not mothers, group of fathers. And there was a brother who he asked a question. I've been in Gyan for 11 years, and until now I haven't seen the golden red light of Paramda. And I said to him, I've never seen it myself. It's not something, I don't have a sort of visual experience in meditation. It's not necessary. So it seemed to me, and as I talked to him later on, it seemed to me he was making a lot of effort to have a sort of a visual experience. So it's not necessary. All I have to do is experience Baba's loving presence. Now, if I see the avyak form of Brahma, that's one thing, but if I don't see it, I can feel it. So meditation, and this is, I went to Daddy Janki in Madhuban, I said, Daddy, I think that people are not learning how to meditate properly. And so what we have to do, first of all, to meditate, which is the number one tool for changing sanskars, if I'm dedicating time to it, especially on Mekvela, when I'm in a place like this, it's really absolute pin drop silence here, because it's just surrounded by nature. There's nothing else except nature here around us. There's no nearby properties that you could hear noises. You can't hear the sounds from the street, from the road outside. It's absolutely quiet, especially in Amrit Vela. So I should make the maximum use of the time that I have. So I'm dedicating time to meditation. So I should get the best out of it. I should organize myself and prepare myself for the meditation. It seems that if I prepare for meditation, I always have a better experience. So if I just sort of go straight into it, then I have to do a little bit of extra work. But I can have any sort of experience with Baba, but especially with this homework from the Avyak Parivar, what we have to do is to get in touch and access our ancient past. You have to access our original eternal sanskars and make something of them. And so the first step, I have to learn to detach. There's no way around it. I'm the soul. I'm not the body. So that's the logic of going beyond the body. Unless I become soul conscious, I can't go into a state of meditation. That's probably first lesson, isn't it? But I have to detach from the body and therefore the senses and the objects around me, the sounds. And it's not just detaching from the things that are physically happening around me, but detaching from the body and the senses, detaching from any memories of sounds or any memories of images that are recorded in me. So I become totally soul conscious. I go beyond the body. I go beyond the roles because I'm the actor, not the roles. And I go beyond the story that I've been living, Because body consciousness is associated with this life, with this body, with this one. I'm not body conscious of my previous body, it's this one. And so it's all related to the thoughts that are connected with the story that I've lived since I was born, and this happened and that happened, and I was here and I was that, and then I came into Gyan. So that long story, I have to go beyond that as well. And that's like detaching means just to turn off all of those things. And at the same time as I'm turning off all of these connections with the world, I'm connecting with Baba, and Baba is just in front of me, just beautiful, shining Baba. He probably is using the subtle form, but I don't need to see anything. I just have to feel close to Bapdada. And I have to feel close to Shiv Baba also. He's there in front of me, right? And so I connect. And in connecting, I start to pull out of myself the best sanskars. And in fact, that influence is such that even the other sanskars of other people, which are connected to my impure sanskars, if I'm worried about someone, for sure, it's my impure sanskars which connected with the impure sanskars of the other one. There's a sort of a connection there between my sanskars and the sanskars of the other, and they create friction against each other. And Baba calls that a sort of a clash. And a clash doesn't need to be just in words. It can be happening at the level of thinking. But just by being in front of Baba, all of that sort of clears away, like the sun moves the clouds away. The clouds disappear. And there's just me and Baba and no one else. And then I can start to interact. The third step. So the first step is to detach. Second step is to connect. The third step is to interact. And the interaction is this heart-to-heart conversation. And I should have something to talk about. For example, today's Murli. You are the ancestor souls. The ancestor souls are not just our daddies and our daddas. We are also ancestor souls because we are in the trunk. We are of the lineage of Brahma Baba. We are together with him, and we have that part throughout the cycle. So we are the ancestor souls. So it's an incredible topic to talk about in a heart-to-heart conversation with Baba Dada. So if there's something I don't understand, I can ask Baba. I'm not asking for power and asking for peace. I'm just saying that Baba, I'd like to understand this better. And the whole essence of meditation practice is, as Didi was saying, we have to understand, but we have to experience, understanding and experience, understanding and experience. So I have this heart-to-heart conversation with Baba. Could be about any topic, could be about this whole topic of purity that Didi was sharing about, how purity has to be there if you want peace or happiness, or the whole battle between purity and impurity, which sort of plays out, and how essential it is for any of the virtues to have that purity, to make our virtues that are merely human, make them divine. They have to be purified. My virtues have to be purified. So I can take up any such topic. And it's useful, at least in the beginning stage, to write down what I'm going to talk about in my heart-to-heart conversation with Baba. Write it down, this is something I can bring up. This is something else I can bring up. This is something else I can bring up. And have an idea of what it is that I want to understand, what it is that I want to experience. And Baba's more than happy to give me the experience so that I can go to the fourth stage of meditation, which is becoming, which is the homework. I have to become those original and eternal sanskars. I have to become like I was in the beginning of the Golden Age, or I have to become like I was in the soul world. So I can use the step-by-step practice, detaching, then connecting with Baba, then interacting, a heart-to-heart conversation, and then I can become one or the other of my original qualities, one or the other of my eternal qualities. So this, we've written down these homework pieces, but I have to make that real for myself. It's not just a question of reading and writing, right? The points themselves are great, but how many times does Baba say to us, don't just write down the points, become the point. Become the point that you're writing down. And Amrit Vela is the very best time to do all of this experimentation. Because we're free, especially if we're in a place that's sort of outside of the city, like where I am now. It's so quiet and so peaceful and so appropriate to be interacting with God in such an atmosphere. And what's Baba's role? Baba's the purifier. I don't purify myself. I have to allow Baba to purify me. So as he purifies me, He brings out my very best sanskars. He brings out my original and eternal sanskars. And so the whole idea of meditation practice, I have to get it right. I have to get it right because it's the only time I can do it in the whole cycle. I have to learn how to detach. I learn how to connect with Baba. I have to learn how to interact in a heart-to-heart conversation. I have to learn how to use Baba's presence to become one or the other of the original qualities. So let's do that now. Let's have some meditation in which we are just reviewing those steps. Okay, can we have some music and a meditation?
Transformation of old nature and old sanskars. Catch your original and eternal, pure sanskars. Just as some people are able to catch the sound of a long time ago, so too you should catch your divine sanskars of 5,000 years ago. Always be aware of what you were and that you are becoming that again. The more you are able to catch your original and eternal pure sanskars, the more you will become a form of them.
पुरानी नेचर व संस्कारों का परिवर्तन, आदि और अनादि पवित्र संस्कारों को कैच करो। जैसे वह बहुत पहले के साउंड को कैच करते हैं, वैसे आप अपने 5000 वर्ष पहले के दैवी संस्कार कैच करो। सदैव यह स्मृति में रखो कि मैं यही था और फिर बन रहा हूँ। जितना जितना आदि और अनादि पवित्र संस्कारों को कैच कर सकेंगे, उतना उसका स्वरूप बन सकेंगे।